The nation's 248-year history, the House of Representatives has impeached officials in 21 cases. Reflecting the grave, highly rare exercise of this constitutional power, the Senate has tried each such case, except where the person resigned office before the Senate trial, rendering such trial moot. This includes two partisan Democrat impeaches of the former president, one in which Republicans controlled the Senate, one in which it was equally divided. Shattering norms, however, is becoming a defining theme for Democrats this year. Why are my Democrat colleagues so eager to shirk their constitutional duty and ignore an impeachment? Because they want to ignore the damning evidence of Secretary Mayorkas' willful violations of immigration law. I can think of no better example than the Secretary's decision to willfully and knowingly exceed his parole authority set forth in the Immigration and Nationality Act. That law permits the Secretary to grant parole, but only on a case-by-case basis, temporarily, and for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit. For example, when a person is in need of urgent medical care, or if a person needs to attend a family member's funeral. He's even created a new taxpayer-funded parole program to allow aliens from numerous countries to be flown directly into the United States. He's abused his case-by-case parole authority beyond any degree imaginable. He's now flying 30,000 illegal aliens per month directly into the United States for resettlement. This is a blatant violation of the law, and it's abuse of the parole law in particular. 2 weeks ago, every single Senate Democrat voted against my appropriations amendment to defund this very parole flight program. That vote was impossible to explain to ordinary Americans. They see the absurdity of flying in tens of thousands of illegal aliens right in the midst of an illegal immigration crisis. So instead, partisan so-called fact-checkers have recently been quibbling over which flights or which airports are being used. This is clearly an attempt to distract from the basic problem with this taxpayer-funded program, which is that it's illegal and it's absurd. I understand why Democrats want to cover it up, though. It's the same reason they don't want to consider these impeachment articles. Similarly, the Secretary terminated contracts for border wall construction and refused to expand funds that Congress appropriated for this specific purpose. Secretary Mayorkas' impoundment of funds is a clear attempt to usurp the will of Congress by refusing to fulfill their mandate, our mandate, to build the border wall. The Secretary has also replaced the pension mandates that are enacted in law with unlawful mass catch-and-release policies that encourage illegal immigration. The law requires that illegal aliens are detained until they're deported, unless they are clearly and beyond a doubt entitled to be allowed into the United States. Instead of complying with this requirement, the Secretary has released millions of illegal aliens into American communities. We've seen the devastating effects of the Biden administration's illegal border policies. We've heard from Americans whose lives and property are being destroyed by droves of illegal aliens who are coming into the United States every single day. We've heard from Border Patrol agents who want nothing more than to do their jobs and secure the border, but whose hands have been tied by the Mayorkas-led Department of Homeland Security. The American people have seen the chaotic images of the southern border under this administration. They witnessed the ravaging effects of illegal immigration in their own communities. This includes drug overdoses, violent crime, local disorder, and the national security threat of unknown bad actors from all over the world coming across our open borders. 249 people on the terror watch list have been encountered at the southern border just last year alone. Since October, a record number of Chinese nationals, 22,000 in fact, have been encountered by our Border Patrol. In all, over 10 million illegal aliens across the border under this Secretary's watch. The collapse of our southern border and the devastating consequences and future risks it has created for our nation is the greatest national security risk we face as a nation. The House of Representatives took the extraordinary step of impeaching a government official for his role in this. And yet Senate Democrats want to completely ignore all of this. They don't want you to hear about it. They want to sweep it under the rug in an election year. The Secretary's alleged violations of law warrant a trial before the Senate. It warrants basic diligence in examining the evidence. And every senator should go on record regarding the charges. I've co-sponsored resolutions by several colleagues establishing impeachment procedures that are in line with past Senate impeachment trials. We're open to debate on the details of the process, but there must be a process. This is an important point. The current debate is not even whether or not Secretary Mayorkas is guilty as charged, but whether we should even examine the question, or whether instead, as the Senate Majority Leader reportedly plans to do, we should just hide the evidence from the American people and avoid discussing this administration's failures at all costs. Why? Because this is an election year. If the Majority Leader wishes to honor and preserve the world's greatest deliberative body, I urge him not to take this unprecedented step of blocking consideration of the impeachment articles against Secretary Mayorkas. Madam President, I yield the floor.